Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to a special episode of the show with a very special guest we have from Armored Saint and also Category 7. Mr. John Bush is with us. What's happening, John?
What's up, Pete? How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Doing good. You
Nice.
guys are,
Friday.
it's Friday, weekend's here, and you guys got some tour dates to talk about. We've got a very busy schedule looking like for Armored Saint, yourself, and Category 7 coming up, starting in just
Yeah,
a week and a half or so.
that's true. Well, we're actually going to start it off in England. We're
Yep.
doing three shows with Wasp, that is Armored Saint, by the way, which is cool because we had the last couple tours that we did with them here in the U.S. And Canada, excuse me, were great. It was really fun, and we had some awesome shows. And Blackie and the guys took very good care of us, and we had some great rock gigs. So we got an opportunity to open only three shows in Britain with them. Well, it's England actually, but we took it because we get to play the Hammersmith Odeon. Well, it's called something else now. I think the Apollo, but still the Hammersmith Odeon, and it's legendary. We've never played it, so we're excited about that. And we're doing Newcastle, which we never played ever,
See?
and then Manchester, which is always a
Manchester.
great rock town. So we're doing that, and then we come back to the States. Then we began the Michael Schenker tour, which
Yeah.
we're going to miss probably half of it, maybe a little more because we're going to England. We already had committed to that, but we are doing nine shows with Michael, and that's going to be awesome. And we're real excited about that. And four of them are here in California, so it's going to be a little easier for us. So
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys this time around because I think the show I'm going to, which is in Newton, New Jersey, has got Jared James Nichols, so it's one of the non-Armored Saint dates. But I mean,
yes.
I saw you guys with Queensryche. Seems like not all that long ago. Was that a year ago? Was that 2 years ago now?
Where was that? Which show did you see?
I was at the Starland Ballroom.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that was cool. And
Yeah,
then and that was yeah, that was I don't know, it's all blurring into one tour at this point, but it was in the last couple of years. And then we did a couple shows with Wasp in that area, and
yep,
actually one I didn't perform in, the one where I was actually ill.
that's
Jason
right.
McCaskey did. That was right at I forget Montclair, Jersey.
Montclair, yep, yep.
Yeah. But I was there. I was at the soundboard with Frankie Bello, and he was busting my balls, and we were watching Armored Saint perform, and that was kind of a surreal moment watching and not being up there. But it was a little humbling. But you know what? Jason did an awesome job, and these things happen.
It's
So
part of rock and roll, right? I mean, it's just chalk it up to another story in your career, I guess,
it
right?
is. I just saw Lady Gaga. I had to like cancel a couple shows because voice troubles. I mean, it happens to us, every singer. It sucks when it does, but it does.
You guys looking forward to the Schenker tour? I mean, that's kind of a cool bill, right? I mean,
It's gonna be great. Michael is just a legend, and he was one of my favorite guitar players of all time. And it's crazy. I mean, I'll say he's kind of underrated. Excuse me. UFO is one of those bands that I played in my garage many, many times to try to figure out how to sing, and I emulated Phil Mogg a lot, and he's still one of my favorite singers. And I wish he was out on this, but he's not, of course. But yeah, it's gonna be great. He's gonna play all the UFO tunes, and it was a great band. They should have been really bigger than they were, even though for a period of time they were obviously pretty popular. But I still really feel like they should have been bigger. Them and Thin Lizzy are the two bands that, as big as they were and as reputable as they are, they should have been bigger.
we always talk about on the channel those two bands with each other because I think there's a lot of similarities between both bands. Not the way they sound, but their career
No,
trajectory. They should have been bigger. All these classic albums that people love, but to mainstream people, they don't have no idea who Thin Lizzy or UFO are, sadly.
I mean they might know Boys Are Back in Town and Lights Out and things like that,
Yeah.
but that's, whatever. It's kind of like Armored Saint a little bit.
A little bit, I guess, right? A little bit.
I mean,
So,
they were bigger than us, but
right.
so what are you gonna do? It's funny.
So, it's been, you guys have been playing so much, but it's been 5 years since the last album now. You guys have new things in the works? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
assuming
we're in
so.
the mix mode right now of a new record, so that's gonna come out in April. We're real excited about it. Sounding great. Tunes are awesome. Um, it a little bit was COVID, of course, because that kind of pushed everything back
Sure.
for everybody. But then we went out and toured a lot, so we were able to do that and did a couple more tours, and we were really not planning on it. but getting out there and playing was great. And we actually sold so many records and CDs on the road. It was crazy. Like we actually recharted that we sold because we sold so many records out there. So kudos to all the fan base who bought records and CDs and shirts, of course. But it kind of did push things back a little bit. We don't work that quick as it is, quite frankly. But I always said it for years. It's like the quality of the tunes is contrary to the amount because that's the fact for us. But the new record will be out next year, and I think it's great. It's going to just kind of build on everything we've been doing, and it's
Yeah, I
really
mean,
cool.
and the last two albums have been really good. I mean, I remember when Wind Hands Down came out, and it had been a while since the previous one, and I remember how much I loved that record. And then, a couple of years, and then Punch to Win came out. It's like, oh, this is great. And it's been 5 years, but like you mentioned, COVID's been here. But it's not like you guys have been away because you
No,
out there are touring quite a bit. So,
exactly. We toured a lot. We actually put out like 4 videos on the last record. So we've been on the public side maybe more than ever. And really I say this and it's really kind of the truth is Armored Saint's probably bigger than we've ever been. Maybe there was a stretch in like 1984 that we were maybe more popular, but honestly, we're probably bigger than we ever were. So we're just writing it and the new record will be great and I think people will dig it. And it really kind of shows sophistication in the songwriting, and we really believe in that. We try to kind of bring in all our different influences and styles and use some different instrumentation and take chances with arrangement a little bit. And I'm really proud of it. I think the songwriting is just, I mean, it's built on everything we've done, the origins of the band. Our hard rock heavy metal band, but we really kind of feel like we just keep pushing the boundaries and it's always going to sound like Saint, and this one does too, but I don't know. That's my pitch. I mean, of course, it comes down to what the fans think. So
yeah, I mean, as someone who's been following you guys since the very beginning, I think you have a remarkably consistent career, even though there have been bouts of like inactivity, obviously, when you were in Anthrax and whatnot. But there's like no bad album in the catalog, and everything sounds like Armored Saint. I mean, it's just a consistent sound across 40 years now, right? It's crazy to think about that.
no,
And that's something to be proud of. And it's funny, my brother, who's a metal fan, but he's not someone like me who's really kept up with a lot of newer music from a lot of bands. And he went with me to the Queensryche show in New Jersey and not very familiar with your music other than like maybe the first two albums. And he walked away from that show saying, you know what? I enjoyed Armored Saint more than I enjoy Queensryche, and I really want to go and investigate some of the albums that I missed over all these years. And that's great when you can turn someone on to your music who maybe either has never gotten into the band or kind of fell off from the band, like, back in the day or whatnot.
right. When your band has been around as long as we have, and that goes for all the bands that who have like 4 decade career, is that usually new music means the opportunity to go take a piss or go get a couple of beers or but I mean I really feel like people really think our last couple of records have been great, and I think for us to keep building on that and keep writing new material that sounds very legit, I think is important. And not everybody can say that. Everybody kind of says it, but
You have
how
to,
much
right?
do you
Yeah.
really how much do you really believe it,
Right.
And I really believe, I mean, again, it comes down to what the press and what the fan base says. And really they're the ones that make the final decision really on it. But at the end of the day, I mean, they've been saying Armored Saints making really great modern music. So I'm
Yeah,
stoked.
sure. So in addition to all the Armored Saints stuff going on, you somehow managed to squeeze Category 7 in. Was
Yeah.
it late last year? I'm trying to think of exactly when this
It's
came
been
out.
out of a little over a year now,
Yep.
actually. Yeah. So yeah, I mean the record's awesome. I'm really proud of it. It was a cool thing because it kind of just happened really, I say organically. I know this is a cheesy word because it's often used, but it really did. Like Orlando and Demo were like they were writing songs and they have ideas and they proposed this idea to me and Jason too as well. He was there in the beginning. And I was like, they said, "Do you want to do this?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. Send it to me. I can't say an answer just based on your reputation's as good as it is. Let me hear it." And then they sent it a couple songs. And I went, "Wow, this is pretty awesome, actually." So then the next step again was for me to say, "Well, what could I bring to it? And can I write some cool lyrics and some vocal melodies to kind of embellish it?" And then I felt like I did. So we recorded a couple demos and that led to a couple more songs, a couple more songs. Next thing we knew, we had enough for a record, so we made a record. So, we've everything hasn't gone super smoothly in terms of the after effect of marketing the record and all that. Not necessarily from the record's label standpoint. Metal Blade put out 5 videos for it, so they did a lot of work, and we just didn't do a lot of shows. Some of it was scheduling issues. Some of it was kind of uh, you know, pulling the plug on it a little too quickly, and that was a mistake in retrospect. But whatever. I mean, it's irrelevant. It's over a year now, and what we're gonna do is we're piggybacking at least for these 3 shows I'm doing and celebrating the tunes that I made with Anthrax and these 3 shows I'm doing, which includes the New York show, is we're gonna have C7 open. So I want to do 2 sets in my life because I can do that at 62. At least I'm believing I can. So, yeah, whatever. I mean, it made kind of the most sense. And like I've said before, if I was starting a band from scratch, I would go after those guys because they're super talented guys. So it'll
It's
be
a great
attractive.
little supergroup. It really is. And I think that musically speaking, if you're an Anthrax fan, you would love this. There's some thrash elements and whatnot going
Oh
on
yeah.
too, but it's just a good modern metal record with some classic vibes, I think, right?
I
It's
mean, totally, totally. So I mean, it got great. We got awesome write-ups and critical acclaim, and even James Hetfield, was smiling about it when he talked about it. So you can't get a bigger endorsement. So, like I've told people, it's still a new group. So even though all these guys are known, the reality is that we're just it's a band, it's kind of a brand new band. So like you can't just say, oh, the reputation is going to make it sell X amount of records. You just can't really rely on that. So any case, it's going to, the record is there forever, and you could always go back even if you didn't discover it yet and listen to it.
Has there been any talk of doing another one? It's probably still too early for that, but
There is talk about it, and I think that's a good idea because I think it would kind of rest those ooh, doggy, rest those shortcomings that we had with some of the mistakes that were made in terms of whatever. I won't get too into that, but like it would kind of say, oh, this isn't just a one-off thing. We're going to make another record. So I've told our manager and the guys, I'm like, I just need a break mentally, and because in a nutshell, I've kind of recorded like 3 records in a row, um, and I also have this like blues country side project band called Electric Spaghetti, which I'm very into. It's really cool. And we've written a bunch of songs. So even though it's very different than Armored Saint Category 7, the reality is it's still me writing. So I was like, I need just a break so I'm not like repeating vocal melodies and lyrics, and I need to like step aside so I can come back with a fresh mindset. So because that's the challenge for me as a guy who's written a ton of songs and been a part of bands and making heavy metal records, is that I don't want to repeat myself, and
sure.
it's easy to do that sometimes. So, to me, that's the most important thing. So, but I do think of making another record is a good idea.
Okay. Are you excited to be going out and singing some of the Anthrax tunes again?
I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. I've been talking about it for a long time, and I finally said, let's do this, take the cheese, and it's going to be great. I've been practicing and learning these songs, and it's cool because some of the shit's coming right back to me. As far as I'm like, "Ah, I remember these lyrics. Like it's weird. They're just in there and they come back out. Some I have to work a little harder, but no, that's really cool, and I think it's
Well,
going
you
to
were
sound.
part of that history, so why shouldn't you, right? I mean, that's what it's.
I mean, those are 4 records that, are part of the 90s, and, they've kind of become a little bit obsolete, somewhat because for whatever reasons, that, we know some of the reasons, the obvious ones, but the reality is there's a lot of people that really dig those albums, and Megaforce actually re-released them, which I was real grateful for, and I've been saying I want to do this for a long time, and so I think it'll be really fun. I think it's going to sound really powerful and fresh, and I think people are going to be real excited.
Good, good. Well, lots going on
I
in
know.
in John Bush world these
I got to
days.
get to work.
So, new Anthrax album, new Armored Saint album in the not too distant future. Lots of live shows. If you're in the UK, go check them out with Wasp. Here in the States, there's going to be a bunch of headline shows as well as shows opening up with for Michael Schenker, as well as the Category 7 and John Bush shows. So you are a busy man for the rest of this year, John.
Yeah, we have a busy thing going on here, and then next year the same record comes out in April, and then we'll probably be doing a lot of touring in conjunction with that. So it should
Cool.
be fun.
Cool. Well, sounds good. And hope to catch you on one of these shows. So it's always good to see Armored Saint every so often on the concert circuit. I try to do it every time you guys come around, and living here in New York, you're always in New Jersey or New York City or something like that. So it always works out pretty well.
Well, please
So
come to the show in New York at the Racket, please. Once you come down and see that, it'll be fun.
okay,
So
sounds good. Sounds good. I'll check the date and look at my calendar, and that'll
December 20th. There
December
you
20th.
go.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Sounds it's
All
a
right.
little ways away, but we got some time
It's
to
a
plan.
little ways away. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
that's
But
okay. Very cool. Well, I want to thank John for stopping by today and giving us some updates on what's going on with him. And go check out any of these live shows. I'm going to post a link down below in the comments section for all the tour dates so you can go find the one that's nearest to you. Go enjoy. Look out for more Armored Saint. Don't miss out on Category 7. It's been out for a little while, but it's a really good record. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Thanks to John Bush for joining us. I'm Pete Pardo. Have a good weekend, everybody. Take care.
thanks, Pete. Thanks for all the support.
Thanks, John.